time. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back for your East Coast edition of previewing the 49ers versus the Rams. This will be part 2 as we brought you guys one last night also. Hopefully today, no fuzzies going on over here. We should be nice, crystal clear, loud and clear and everything. So, guys, we got to go through the formalities. If this is your first time checking us out on Facebook or YouTube, we want you guys to make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, join whatever it is that you guys need to do. We want to make sure that you guys are here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Notifications got to be turned on so you know exactly when we're going to go live, okay? Make sure you check out the website, people. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. It's going to be your one-stop shop for any and everything concerning your San Francisco 49ers, all right? Make sure you guys look at everything that we have over there. We have articles. We have podcasts. We have videos. We have a fan section, a page there dedicated to you guys. Send us your attire, your game day attire. You can send it all to us all at nbniners@nothingbutniners.com. That's the email address. So make sure you guys send it all over there. Let us know what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're wearing. Show us your game day attire. Like I said, your pets, your cars, man. Let me see some hooked up 49ers cars. Let me see what you guys are doing on the inside of those vehicles, all right? Make sure it's appropriate. But let me see what's going on in there, all right, guys? Also, check us out on all of our different social media pages. Our Twitter and our Snapchat handles are nothing but 9ERS. So make sure you guys give us follows over there on both of those pages, especially on game days. Nick has been going to game days like crazy, so I know the Snapchat has been wild. Make sure you guys check that all out, okay? Also, last but certainly not least, our Facebook and our Instagram. A lot of you guys are already here from the Facebook side, but it's nothing but Niners. That's spelled all the way out. So you guys make sure you give us follows over there as well. All right. Football Sunday is here, guys. I'm ready to talk some football. I got my man Nick over here. Nick, what's going on, baby? How you doing, bro?
49er bang, Niner gang. What's going on, baby?
Yeah. 49er Faithful 365. You guys give us follows on Twitter. You can see at the bottom of our page our Twitter names right there. So you guys make sure you give us follows. Okay. It's hard, ain't it? I hate doing that, man. I hate it. And also, my man Wayne Breezy is here.
Bow! Yo, we about to get it popping today. Let's go down to LA and do what we do. We live and die in LA.
Oh,
it's
man.
the place to be. Yo, it's going to go down, man. What's going on, y'all?
I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. I don't know if I'm as hyped as you yet. I'm trying to stay calm until 4 get o'clock.
Man, I hear you, bro. I've been hyped since last week, since Monday night. Let's go!
I like it, man. I like it. Fellas, the Niners have a lot to prove today. We're overcoming a lot of adversity. Again, we all know the injury report and everything. The tackles they're gone. The fullback is gone. The running back has been gone. The corner is gone. And right now, George Kittle's banged up. They say he's a game-time decision, but Kittle's going to play today, guys. But how you guys feeling about the injuries, man? I mean, what's up? Let's go with Nick, and then we'll go to Wayne. I mean, you guys' thoughts on it? Are you concerned at all about these injuries? I know we kind of keep beating this dead horse, right? We're beating the same drum, but now, Adam Schefter comes out last night. It was early in the morning. He's talking about Kittle's a game-time decision and all that. We heard all week that it was a groin. Now Adam Schefter saying, nope, it's a hamstring. They're on front and back side of the leg. So what's the deal? I mean, what's going? Is George Kittle getting beat up in practice? What's up, man?
Bro, I'm not even worried one little bit, to be honest with you. And the reason I'm not worried, first off, the whole George Kittle thing. Let's get to that. I don't believe this coaching staff and this medical staff will let somebody play if they think it's significant. We've seen that this year. So I totally don't listen to Schefter. I totally don't listen to Rappaport. But if George Kittle is healthy enough to play, he's going to play. If it's something that will be hindering or have the possibility or opportunity to keep him out going forward, I don't think he'll win or they'll play. So they'll play him. So that being said, look for George Kittle to be a factor today in the game. But going forward, I'm not worried, man. The reason I'm not worried about this team is because we got Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is the most genius type of scheming type play caller that you have in the NFL. You got Aqib Talib is down. Their defensive line, I told you last night, if you watch the show, I'm not worried about Aaron Donald. I know that that's a bold predicament of not being worried about him, but I don't think he's going to be that game changer this week. I really don't. He hasn't really shown that this year. Don't get me wrong. Aaron Donald is a hell of an athlete. But I just think that Kyle Shanahan can and will scheme to keep Aaron Donald out of this game. And that's the reasons I'm not worried about today's game.
Wayne, it's on you, brother, man. I want to know how you feeling, man. I know you said you've been hyped since last week, man. It's a lot, you know. We coming in here, man. This is our first divisional opponent, man. They're banged up too. Don't get me wrong. Injuries are a part of the NFL. You just got to deal with those things. Oh, good catch by Evans. Wow. But yeah, so all that stuff is going on, man. Wayne, and you know, Nick saying he's not worried about the injuries. We got the God himself calling the shots over there. Are you as confident as Nick is? Nick even went on to say, "I ain't worried about no Aaron Donald. Aaron who?"
That's super bold. But you know what? I'm with Nick, man. Hey, man, I said it. I've been saying it all season, especially since game 2, that this 49ers team is different. And y'all already know what that means. I understand we got injuries. That's part of football. The game is all about attrition, baby. It's gonna happen. We just got to know how to maximize off of what we have. I believe that the talent that we have has grown from last season. Last season they played great with backups. We just couldn't capitalize in wins. If I'm not mistaken, I mean we had a lot of close games. We just couldn't capitalize in wins, and that was with backups. So this shit, man, we're gonna go down to LA. I'm not saying it's gonna be an easy game, but we are the road warriors. But we 2-0 on the road, and I look to be 3-0 on the road. We in the same state. I'm with Nick. Hey man. Aaron Donald going to do what Aaron Donald going to do. What we got to do is just be smart. Don't turn the ball over. I said it last week. We didn't. Don't turn the ball over. Capitalize in the red zone. Run the God-blessed ball. Keep the ball moving. Keep Kyle Shanahan is great at calling them dink and dunk plays. They're a little bit better than dink and dunk plays. So you're going to see Jimmy Garoppolo get rid of the ball quick in this game, man. And watch these receivers get open. We've been talking about our receivers been struggling all season. I know Kittle is dealing with the injury. I believe it's one of those fake New England Patriot Gronk injuries when he go on the injury report. We just got to list somebody else to go on the report. I just think we go down there and we handle business, man. I'm telling you, that defense, Sela, props to you, brother. I hope you don't leave us next season because you're going to be in the role for a coaching position with the way you got this defense playing. You just needed pieces. Richard Sherman's going to keep that defense in check with his leadership, and them boys are flying to the ball. And I said in our chat, and I'm not saying that he's underrated. I'm just saying he's low-key balling, and I think Mike say, nah, he high-key balling, but there's a name we don't mention on that defense each and every week, and y'all already know what his name is. It's Mr. Ronald Blair himself, and that boy has been applying pressure as well. So you wait to see how we're going to go down there and punch them in the mouths, just like we did Cleveland, just like we did Pittsburgh, just like we did Tampa, and just like we did the other team that we beat the snot out of. It's going down. I need one of them black and miles too. Let's go.
Let me tell y'all why I grabbed this, right? I had my son wrap. I got a little bag of cigars, my humidor. I said, grab the bag, because I thought about Nick saying he ain't worried about Aaron Donald. You guys know that meme that goes around with LeBron James?
Yeah, he looking crazy.
He said, Donald Trump, Donald Duck, Aaron Donald. Oh, you get all the Donalds. Nick is really not worried about Aaron Donald, man. I can't. Hey, man, look. Hey, bro, you know. Y'all got me hyped, man. I mean, look, man, this is going to be a lot of fun and everything, man. I'm really looking forward to this game today, man. Let's talk about some scheme stuff, though, fellas.
Okay.
Like, are we? Come on, man. Go ahead, Nick. I see you, man. Go ahead. Like you want to say. Go ahead.
Look, there's one thing we have to do today, right?
Win.
Well, obviously win, but to win, there's one thing we have to do. This defense has to stay on its level. This defense has to stay on its level to play right now. You heard it last week, right? You heard Freddie Kitchens say before the game, this is going to be the best front four that we've faced all year, right? There were times last week we were rushing 2 and still getting pressure. Like literally rushing 2 and dropping 9. And rushing 2, dropping 9. And then we still get to the quarterback. We were still getting sacks with rushing 2, right? This defensive front is legit. As much as we want to say, as much as I say, stay humble, this defensive front is legit, right? If there's anything on this team, it's that. Mm-hmm. So you go into this game. Last week, you heard Freddie Kitchens say this is going to be the best front that we face all year, right? this may be the between last week and this week, they're probably two of the best fronts that we're going to face so far, right? As in Myles Garrett, Olivia Vernon, Aaron Donald, but both of their offensive lines are suspect. And if we can get home to Jared Goff like we did Baker Mayfield, this isn't even going to be a game. It's not even going to be a game. And if we can if we get pressure and at least 3 to 4 sacks this game's not even going to be close. It's really not even going to be close. And I'm just a firm believer in what this defense brings, man. And I'm still worried about the offense. Don't get me wrong, because I still want to see more production from the receivers. That's me in general. I still want to. We're putting up points, but I want to see production from the receivers. If our run game is not there, then we need to be able to pass the football, and I need to see that production from the receivers. Not saying they can or can't do it, but I need to see that firsthand.
All right, now we want to talk about some scheme stuff, and Nick and I gave a lot of our thoughts yesterday on this. My man Tony just popped in here, so I want to direct this to Wayne and Tony. Now, Dre just put this comment in here and said, did you see the article from Niner Nation saying Kyle will use – I don't know where it went. Kyle will use Jeff Wilson Jr. at fullback. I didn't hear this. I didn't see this, so I'm going to throw it to you guys.
Hey, if that's true – I tweeted it. I said, why not put him back there? He's good at short line. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. The question is, can he lead block? And maybe this is the day we find out. I'm not saying that's his natural position, but hey, man, he's a piece that we can use and utilize like a utility knife. And that's part of Kyle's scheme. Yo. If you look at the players that he picks to be on his team, they're hand selected for a reason. When we pass up on all these names and these big names and all this type of stuff, there's multiple reasons why Kyle picks the pieces that he wants, especially to make his offense work. Kyle knows that injuries are going to happen. In a good world, in an imaginary world, you want to play with no injuries, but he knows things are going to happen. And the question is, Kyle wants to be able to utilize the pieces that he selects to put in certain situations. Hey, I'm looking to see 3 wide receiver sets. You say you want to see our receivers ball, Nick, today? I think today is the big test for the wide receivers group. You know what I'm saying? I think you see those 3 wide receiver sets. I think he mixes it up. I still think without Kyle, without Juice, we still run the ball successfully. That's just how I feel. Don't ask me why. I think the run blocking on this offensive line is great. I know we're missing that lead blocker, but why not put another good running back in there that's the bigger of the running backs to lead block and maybe give him some plays, fullback screens, fullback this, fullback draws. We'll see. Kyle's good at scheming. That's the one thing he's good at. Scheme. That we should call him Kyle Schemahan or something like that. That's what he do. That's what he does. He does it well.
All right, now Tony, man, we got to hear from you, bro. You've been calm and cool. JD wants to know how nervous you are, man. How you playing it today? Are you putting big man Jeff Wilson over there at fullback today?
Listen, I mean, we all know how creative they are. Kyle is, Bobby Turner. I could see it. I mean, it makes sense because he's agile. He could the fullback in Kyle's system isn't like a power fullback where it's an I formation and your job is to go get the Mike linebacker and blow him out of the hole. This is a more of like, getting to the edge and sealing or kicking out a defensive end or the last man on the line of scrimmage, which could be an outside linebacker, safety, whatever the defense plays. So I could see it happen. But on the other hand, it's making me think, is this because they're going to do this because maybe George Kittle is really nicked up and they're afraid that he can't make the full game? It could be possible, but I wouldn't put anything past Kyle. I do like it, though. I do like the potential of it because that'll leave Kyle at the tight end spot and he could run his routes on play action. Where if Kyle became the fullback or the H-back in motion as a lead blocker or a play action, he's not releasing off the line. He's got to come from the backfield chip and then go out into a pattern. As far as defense, I just want to touch on something. I think Nick was just talking about it. I think the Rams are going to screen the shit out of us. Bubble screens, tunnel screens to get the ball out of Goff's hands quick, like slants and stuff like that. But I think it's going to be a big game for our linebackers, Warner and Quan Alexander. If they come up big today, I think the Rams are going to have a problem. I really do. Because if they stop that screen games, those tunnel screens and stuff like that, bubble screens, it's going to force Goff to sit back there and hold the ball for a couple seconds. And you know what happens when a quarterback has to sit in the pocket versus the Niners.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what the game plan is going to be for the Rams today, and I think Tony's onto something there. It's going to be the quick passes, getting the ball out of the hands quickly. A lot of people are focused on, Todd Gurley's not in, right? And Todd Gurley's been getting, 10 to 12 carries a game?
Yeah, 30 yards, if that. Maybe touchdowns, but on the goal line. Yeah.
Right. So it can't be that they're missing anything, but this is what was telling to me. They brought up and activated another running back from their practice squad and bumped him up to the 53-man roster, right? So I'm like, what the heck is their game plan going to be? Are they going to try to run the ball on us? And I don't know. How do you guys think? I mean, Tony said it already with the screens. How do you guys think that they attack the 49ers today? Like, how, if you guys have been watching this defense, how do you attack them? What are you possibly doing?
I think they're really going to try to run the ball. I think without Gurley and with the fresh legs, I think they brought the rookie up, and then they have their other backup running back. I think they really believe that they're going to try to run this ball, and we can't lose sight on stopping the run. That's why I said gotta always rule number one: stop the run. Then get pressure on the quarterback from your if you could get it from the inside, even better. But on the outside, cool. But we got to stop the run. Got to stay consistent in that. Can't give up 6 yards a pop, 5 yards. I don't even want to give up 4 yards a pop. Like, they got to keep the run game to a halt, because that is going to put, like Tony said, them into a different predicaments where they might have to throw the screens, which is going to mean our outside guys are going to have to fly to those ends to cut those screens down. And you want Jared Goff throwing deep. The only receiver we really got to stop it. I know there's Brandon Cooks. I know there's Robert Woods, and we can't take them lightly. I just don't think he'll have time to get them the ball. We got to figure out that Cooper Kupp guy. He's the guy that we got to figure out. And we got to – I'm not sure. Do you put Sherman on him? Do you put Mosley on him? Like, I don't know what the game plan is. He's a bigger type of receiver, not really good on the quick routes or whatever. But that's the guy. That's their focal point. That's going to be their focal point. Where they use him as a decoy and try to run the ball, throw us off balance. They got a tight end named Everett. He's a tight end that likes to catch the ball and get yak. He's not a George Kittle, but that's how he's playing. He's playing in that type of a way. Can't take that lightly neither. So I guess the key is stop the run, apply the pressure, and let Goff make his mistakes, and we got to capitalize on their mistakes.
It's a favorable matchup. I mean, because if you look at their offensive line, their center is tiny. I mean, if he's 6'2", it's pushing it. And their right guard Blith was with them last year. He was in and out of the lineup, but towards the end, he became the starter. And then don't forget, they lost, in my opinion, their best interior player in Roger Saffold. Roger Saffold was amazing on that offensive line. You replace him with a rookie guard. I think his name is Jeff Noteboom, a rookie out of I think TCU he was drafted out of. But don't hold me to it. But I honestly, our interior, just with Defoe, Jones, whether it's Eric Armstead in the nickel, I think we have a significant advantage versus that interior. Not even skill set, because when you have a 6'2" center and a 6'3" right guard, and you have 2 6'7" mountains, their hands are going up in the air, and they're going to be batting passes down all day. It's my opinion, but I really think, and like Wayne brought up Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp likes to work the middle of the field. So I'm okay with putting Quan on him. I have no problem with putting not Quan. K'Wan Williams on. I don't have a problem with that, because guess who's going to be lurking? Warner and Alexander. It's not going to be one-on-one because we play that zone. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be lurking in that area. He catches the ball, he's done. He's being brought down. Now the question is if he goes outside. If he lines up outside, which I seen him do it a handful of plays, he does create a mismatch. And how they do that is they put the tight end flexed off the tackle, and then they put Cooper Kupp outside of that. That's where it could get a little hairy because now you got Everett coming off the tackle and running like working the middle of the field, and then you're going to have Cooper working the deep, the intermediate to deep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it could get tricky. Listen, these two guys are geniuses. McVay, I'm not taking nothing away from McVay. McVay's a good coach. Kyle Shanahan's an excellent coach. They came from they worked with each other. He was under Kyle. I give Kyle the advantage here because Kyle has more experience as a play caller. Okay. And the reason why they did what they did to us previously with Kyle here is because let's be real, guys. McVay had a better roster. That's it. Because if we all remember that first season, Kyle went blow for blow with him, with Brian Hoyer as your quarterback.
That Thursday night game, remember that?
Okay, so I mean, listen, and if I recall right, they jumped out to a 21-point lead.
Yeah, and we came back, tied it up. I remember.
Okay, so listen, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna say I'm looking forward to seeing it because I'm probably not going to be able to see it, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game plays. I like the Niners today. I love them getting 5.5 points. They say it's a road game. No.
Timeout. The line went up to 5.5 now?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe that's where I saw it last too.
Ooh.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Talib is not playing today. I believe he's ruled out along with Gurley.
Yep.
Gurley and Clay Matthews is out. And listen, guys, we're hurt. We're banged up too.
Mm-hmm.
And if we beat them, you're going to hear the excuses. Oh, we didn't have him. We didn't have him.
I agree.
Okay, well, guess what? We didn't have our 2 bookend tackles. We didn't have our fullback. Our tight end is 50-50. So I don't want to hear that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd rather beat them full strength to put the silence to death, the doubters to silence them. But, I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. And I think you're going to see Kyle stick with the run. I don't think he's going to open it up right away. I don't.
I agree.
I think the way that the Rams are going to try to beat us is kind of like Tony said with screens and bubbles. But basically, what I think they're going to try to do is they're going to try to spread this defense out. They're literally going to try to spread it out. More receiver sets with a tailback or running back. Use a tight end more, Everett, who has been becoming a big part of their game. But spreading us out will push, our linebackers out, keep us in a nickel front, type of things like that. But I do agree with Tony that that's the way they're going to try to beat us is those bubbles, get the ball out of Goff's hands quick. Because we all know how Jared Goff is. Once he starts getting pressure or getting hit, he's done. He doesn't continue to play the football game. It's really weird. Like, if he comes out on fire, I think there's going to be a telling point in this game, and I think it's going to be like the first 2, probably 3 drives of them on offense. If we can stop them from getting in the end zone, the Niners will take over this game completely.
We saw a comment in here that said, can Jimmy Garoppolo win in a shootout? Now, before we answer that question, there's 2 things I want to get through before we answer that. One, to respond to Tony's question on how they use Cooper Kupp. If they put him on the inside, I'm not worried about him there. If they put him on the outside, I'll be really interested to see which side they put him on. Emmanuel Mosley hasn't gone up against a guy that size yet, has he?
No.
Because OBJ was the one.
Yeah,
right?
They're not the same size. I mean, as far as height-wise and body, nah. This would be his biggest test if they put him on his side. That's why I asked, could Richard Sherman but it depends on where they line him up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now that's the thing. Kupp isn't the fastest guy in the world. He ran like a 6'2" or a 4'2", I mean, a 4'6", something like that, I believe. So
yeah, he's not a blazer.
Huh?
He's not a blazer. He's a physical guy. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about that. I'll deal with a physical guy over a blazer any day because if you miss on a jam and a blazer has a step, it's done. It's good night.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying
if your quarterback has time to see it.
Right. And so how do we feel about like Cooks? Because that is their blazer, and he hasn't had a good season yet. You know what I'm saying? So his season is not good. So with him being that blazer, he's like our Marquise Goodwin. You know what I'm saying? So like, how do we?
Yeah, but he's not that fast.
Okay. I didn't mean far as speed, but he's their top guy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
And then Woods
he's the deep threat.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean far as speed.
I don't even think he's their deep threat. I think Brandon Cooks is. Cooper Kupp is more of a across the middle.
He's saying
I'm talking about Cooks.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kupp. My bad.
Yeah, like how do we keep him contained? Like, cause you kind of made me nervous for a second, Nick. You said the way that they're gonna try to beat us is by spreading us out, and I'm like, oh snap! Like this,
I don't have a problem with. I don't.
But see, I guess that makes me nervous because if you spread out, like, how are we going to continue to? And what if they run out of the spread? Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we got the guys spread out, our defense is out, and now we got those 4 guys. Our linebackers are out. Like, are we still going to be able to? And then they run draws or whatever. Like,
I think the way that we stop that is the same way we tried to stop it last week, is by giving them everything in front of us.
Okay.
That's what we tried to do with Jarvis Landry and Odell. We tried to give them everything in front of us.
Oh, play underneath, like keep the stuff. Okay,
keep everything underneath. Yep. And don't get beat deep. Because if you take that deep game away, you got to go through progressions a lot faster if they're giving you that space. And if our defense can get home, I don't really think it sees as an issue. We saw how it played out last week. You know, now don't get me wrong. Jared Goff is a lot better of a quarterback than Baker Mayfield.
Is he? Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think
he's more polished.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like he has more.
I don't know. I think Baker is a better skill set quarterback, yo. I think Baker just lacks in size and height. But I think outside the pocket, he's a threat if he could get outside. And like I think personally Baker's better than Jared Goff. I never was sold on Jared Goff coming out of Cal. Like he just was never that guy to me. And granted, he got his contract. That's on him. Congratulations to him. But he's gonna lose that contract today. Like I was just never sold on Jared Goff, far as talents set wise.
Just to touch on what Nick said, he thinks that they're gonna spread us out. I think that's favorable for us, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you watch the Cleveland game, they always motion the tight end to chip either Bosa or Ford. Now, if you spread, that's one-on-one. The tackles are one-on-one with Bosa and Ford. So that means it's 2 versus 3 on the interior. And I'll take that all day with them too. Okay. With that being said I'll take the chance going nickel versus them and those 2 guys getting home or making him move, get off his throwing point, his throwing platform, then playing base and then trying to like attack us different ways. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a tight end on the line where they could chip, a back could chip. And what the hell was I just going to say? I totally forgot my train of thought. Oh, as far as the Ram side of it, I wouldn't be surprised if you see, because we all know Sherman stays on one side.
Right? No. He's been playing both sides this year.
Right.
He's been flipping?
He's been switching sides.
Yeah. Even at the game we were at. Like he's
not doing it a lot. But they're doing it as like disguises though. It's like gadget plays.
He's not like he used to be where he stays to the one side of the field.
I think they're going to try to put Cooks on Sherman as much as they could.
Right.
That's a mismatch.
Right.
That's what I think they're going to do. And I think if the Niners could shift away from that somehow and line up the opposite and put Sherman on Woods and E-Man on Cooks, I think we'll be okay.
So Ward. So even if they did that, you don't feel comfortable. You don't feel comfortable with Ward playing on top of Sherman.
No, I do, but I just think it's more because Sherman's a more physical corner, obviously.
Absolutely.
And Robert Woods is a more physical receiver. He's their possession receiver in that offense out of the base. So that matchup is favorable to the Niners because he's not a burner. Where Cooks, like I said before, if Cooks gets a step on Sherman, Jimmy Ward better get his ass over there because Cooks is going.
So how come Cooks won't play press close? Why give him this space? Because of the step? Because of getting beat?
That's the thing. I mean, I mean, I haven't been seeing Sherman up on the line a lot. I mean, I know we've seen it a handful, but he's been playing off a lot for some reason. I don't know.
Him up. They play that underneath, so he gives them the underneath route, and then one thing Sherman do good is tackle.
That's the true cover 3, because what happens is he's responsible for the deep third, and then the outside linebacker covers the flat.
Got you.
So that's why they've been playing him off. Now with his speed, I'd be a little wary of letting him get a clean release. Because if he goes by Sherman, he's fast. That son of a bitch is fast. Oh, sorry. That guy is fast. So that's what I'm thinking. If we can get that matchup with Cooks on Mosley, I think it's a better skill set wise, I think it's a better match in favor of the Niners rather than Sherman on Cooks. Playing off.
They might feel confident trying to put Cooks on an unknown corner instead of trying to test him against Richard Sherman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the other thing that I wanted to get to really quick was happy birthday to Jerry Rice. Today is the GOAT's birthday. You got to get that in there. My guy, there it is right there. Nick I was on top of it. I was trying to scroll through and find it again. My man said it was his birthday in there. I'm not even going to try to say the name. If one of y'all want to try it.
Tongan Man.
Sure.
Tongan Man 78.
Yeah.
He shares a birthday with Jerry Rice. So happy birthday to both of you guys. I like that. I like that a lot. And then the last thing, it was that question that was up here. Can Jimmy Garoppolo get into a shootout this game and win? Now, Nick has been saying the wide receivers got to step up and all that stuff. I don't think a shootout necessarily means your wide receivers. It's just going score for score with these guys. So are we capable of doing that?
I think so. But it's not going to be all in Jimmy's hands. Because if you watch the Pittsburgh game when we were there, when Pittsburgh scored, we answered the bell. Right?
Right.
We scored. So I'm not saying Jimmy's going to drop back 50 times and throw the ball over the field. No. Kyle's got to stick to his offense, stick to the basic game plan, run, set up the pass. Now, just real quick, Wayne, before you go, before you start, I honestly think we're not going to skip a beat in this run game, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because of Kyle. It's not because of Brunskill, and it's not because of school. Kyle's going to scheme like he did versus Cleveland to take those edge guys out of it. He's going to use the jet sweep action. He's going to use the orbit motion action. Now, by doing that, I think we spoke about this on a previous show, is you're forcing the outside, the edge setters to play honest. And we saw it, matter of fact, we saw it in the Pittsburgh game. Remember when Bosa bit on that one reverse? Mm-hmm. He came up and tackled the guy, but then the next play, they ran that reverse and he took off. I think it was the James Washington. They actually flipped it to him, and he had the corner. By doing that, Kyle's going to keep this defense honest. They're going to say, oh, shit, here's the action. Let me keep my outside arm free just in case. And then here comes the counter guard kicking him out, and then there's Breedham, Coleman, Wilson, anybody running, hitting that hole right off that block. That's what Kyle did the first play of that game. He pulled that guard. He's getting away from the outside zone. He's actually running some power. He's running some counter. And I honestly like it because Kyle had this big stigma around him saying he's stubborn and he wants shit his way and he wants his plays being run and he's not varying anything. Well, Kyle showed he's open, and he's open to changes, and he's open to adjusting. And that's why we have over 800 yards in 4 games.
Agreed.
We need to start talking about if we're going to have 2,000-yard rushers this year.
I know, right? I think my only concern with the shootout situation, I think if it came down to a shootout, I'm not sure if our receiving talent, if our receiving core is as great as maybe the Rams receiving core. I definitely believe our quarterback is better, but the playmaker still got to catch the ball. And we've seen a lot of drop touchdowns. We've seen a lot of wrong, routes, and that would kind of make me feel a little bit weary in the shootout situation. But if Kyle does stick to his game plan, the scheme and the run game, because we know how the run sets up, and it makes Jimmy Garoppolo just that much more perfect when he's able to do the play action pass. we can't get away from that. And I don't even in the shootout. I want us to figure out a way to continue to run the ball. Like figure out a way to create some type of short pass. I would love to see the short pass game. I don't think I've ever seen the short pass dump to the running back in this offense in years. It's always a receiver or whatever. So I would like to see that one running back hang back, chip the block, and then just be there for the safety net, especially since Kittle might be suffering the injury, and we don't need Kittle to be doing that. We can have Kittle doing other stuff to scheme away the defense a little bit. So I would like to see a little bit of that. And if that's the case, if that's working, this team is putting up 30 points a game, just about. I believe it could be higher. We've seen it. It could be higher. We just don't execute. Execution is everything. Kyle always has the right scheme, the right plays, and then we fail to execute at times. So the 49ers just cannot hurt themselves today. They go out there and execute, they will be victorious in that 5-0.
All right. So my answer to the shootout is, am I worried about it? No, I'm not worried about it. I think we could hang with them, but this is also my theory. We're not going into a shootout with these guys. If we think we're going into a shootout with these guys, we have no confidence in this defense. We've allowed 14 points a game, not a single rushing yard, not a rusher over 100 yards. If we can't continue to play our defensive game, then we've just fallen apart. Because if you want to go by stats, if you want to go by the way this defense has been playing, yes, the Rams have a high-powered offense, right? But how do you stop that high-powered offense? Getting to the quarterback. Where is our best attributes right now on this team? Getting to the quarterback, right? So you can have the best wide receivers out there. We saw it last week with Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., even Callaway. And obviously their tight end was out. But we've faced these type of receivers. But how do you stop receivers and quarterbacks from getting together? You get to the quarterback. That is the Niners' number one thing they've been doing this year, whether it's finishing and getting the sack or just getting the pressures and the hits. We are getting home. And that's the biggest difference on this defense this year. This defense is going to eat today. I don't even know why everybody's so worried about it. This defense is literally going to eat today. We're all talking about, Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Jared Goff, Aaron Donald. But what about Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead? Just D Ford, if he plays more snaps this week. That's something we should be excited about right now. Hopefully he plays more snaps this week. But this defense has allowed 14 points a game throughout 4 games. And we're in here talking like the Rams are going to come in here and put up 40 on us.
I don't think anybody did that, Nick. I think we were just saying.
There's people talking about the Rams can put up 40 on us.
I thought you meant us.
To me, a shootout is 35 points or more back and forth. That's a shootout.
One thing I will say, this is the best coaching staff that we faced yet this year, as far as offense, defense as a whole.
Which brings me to my next point. How this game is not only a statement game for the players, but this is a statement game for Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly.
He continues to hear, Sean McVay is the wizard of the NFC West. He's beaten Kyle Shanahan all these times. He's beaten Kyle Shanahan at lackluster teams with a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
He's never beat a Kyle Shanahan team with a really good team.
I know Tony's got to go. I don't think this is the best coaching staff we've played this year, just so you guys know. I think the Buccaneers, they might not have the record, but that coaching staff knows their stuff over there.
Yeah, Bruce Arians. Yeah, man.
You got Bruce Arians, Todd Bowles. Those guys, come on. No, I'm not. Wade Phillips is cool and all, and I wanted him here before we decided on Robert Saleh, but Wade Phillips and Todd Bowles they're going in opposite directions right now. And so I don't think that's the case at all. It would have looked better in the quad box. Now I can't do it. My daughter wanted to do something really quick and then go back upstairs and play. So I don't know how to get her in here now that Tony left. The quad box is helping. Here, just do it really quickly. Hold on. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me start the camera back up. The camera come back on?
No.
What the heck?
Hit it.
Booms.
Hey.
No, hold on. It takes two to make a thing go right. I'm gonna leave and come right back in. All right. I
Doo-doo.
don't know why it's not reading the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick, I just feel like, I get the definition of a shootout. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with you, man. I don't think he gets there. I think us 49er fans need to have some faith in his defense, yo. Like you said, his defense has been balling. Hey, and you didn't even talk about the turnovers, bro. Like, this defense has been getting turnovers, bro.
Yo,
The
the Rams are tied for second with 12 giveaways.
Yo, this defense with interceptions, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, special teams. We don't talk about it. This defense has been on another level. I'm gonna bring it down. I'm telling you, I'm not worried. I'm just saying I gotta recognize what the Rams got. This is what they have on paper, and I know what we got. So I know our defense is gonna come out there and do what they've been doing for 4 weeks straight, punching cats in the mouth. And even when the offense can't seem to find their rhythm, what the defense do, Nick? Hey, Nick, what the defense do when we had to host the Steelers, Nick? Tell them what the defense did.
They stepped up, shut them down, and flexed. That's what they did. That's what they did.
So I'm never worried. I'm never worried. But you got the floor, baby girl. Go ahead and do your thing. And then there he goes.
Don't be afraid. Go ahead. Hold on. How do we? Oh no, I can't do it that way. Is there us?
Yeah, hold on.
I can't remember how to do it. All right, go ahead. Slide over. You can do it. You ready? You got to be quick.
Okay.
Nice and loud.
Oh, yes, no brakes. Oh, yes, no brakes. Oh, yes, no brakes. Go Niners.
All right. Good job, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, gas, no brakes. You heard her. Let's go.
Love it.
All right, say bye to everybody. Get out of here.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Beat it. Oh man. Sorry.
Look at her with those pom-poms. I love it.
Yeah, those are the ones from the show.
I'm super excited just to see, like, each and every week, like, who on defense wants the award. You know what I'm saying? Everybody plays. Everybody's they're living up to these expectations. They're playing for one another. Like everybody's gonna come out there and do their thing, man. And it's gonna be crazy. And you know what? I'm not saying that the Rams are an easy opponent. I get it. It's a divisional game. Those are usually close games. So you don't get the blowout score from me, because typically they're closer games because they see each other twice a year and they know each other's schemes and all this type of stuff. But they ain't seen this scheme Kyle gonna run, because y'all thought what we did against the Browns was what we're gonna do against you. Nah, son, it's gonna be different. And that's why I like Kyle over McVay. McVay hasn't been able to show anything consistently this year. What's their record? 3-2, 2-3? Well, I don't know. Yeah, whatever it is, 3-2. Or they about to be 3-3. So my point is I need the faithful to just understand, like Nick said, yo, the defense, they're not giving up many points. Even if you see 21 points, 23, it happens from other things, facets of the game. This defense is balling out. Go ahead, Mike.
The 20+ point games all came from when we had all those turnovers. You take away those games with the turnovers, nobody's moving the ball on this squad. But I think that goes back to the next point. I didn't get a chance to jump in because everybody was saying other stuff, and I didn't want to break the flow. And I especially wanted to get the opinions of Wayne and Tony, because Nick and I spoke last night already. But when Nick said that he thinks that they might try to spread us out, I think what Nick, I could be way wrong. So Nick, correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? But I think what Nick's point is it's looking at the strengths of this defense, right? And I know everyone is all about the defensive line. And don't get me wrong, all three of these levels are working together. So as soon as Nick said that, Tony said, well, then that's going to leave the one-on-ones with their ends, our defensive ends, and he's right there. But I posted a question in the group late last night, and not many people responded, about the one player the 49ers could not lose the one player that if the 49ers lost would have the biggest trickle-down effect, right? My answer is Quan Alexander. The reason is because I think those linebackers are pivotal to our success on defense. Those guys are holding it down. I think if one of those guys go down, especially Alexander, we see a completely different game plan from his defense. And so if they spread us out, I think that's what Nick was talking about. Now all of a sudden our linebackers are having to play a completely different game.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, but I think that's where Nick was going with it, and I can see how that could be a problem. But like Tony was saying, interception, he's going.
Yeah, game's over, yo. And that's why I asked Nick to explain, because that's what made me nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like if we got to have our outside linebackers line up on one-on-ones, like I'm not saying they can't cover, but that's not typically what we want them to do, correct? Like we want them to, on a screen, you want them flying to the ball, but just on a one-on-one, it's like, it just makes me a little nervous.
What I think it does is it takes your linebackers out of the game. And linebacking right now all three facets of our defense, whether it's the front, the middle, or the backside, are all playing well, right? But we can all agree that the linebackers have been a huge part of why our run game, our protection against the run game has been so good.
Yeah,
we've been in a wide nine. 62% of the time we've been in a wide nine.
Okay.
So that moves our linebackers to have gap schemes and fill the gaps of those runs, because you only have 3 guys spread out on the ball. Well, 4 guys, but you're just out further with the 2 ends. But that makes the linebackers cover 2 gaps instead of 1, and the outside. So it's a surprise to me that we've been in that 62% of the time, where last year in the wide nine we were only in 30% of the time. So there's a big difference this year with our linebackers, and the reason that we can play that is because of the speed of the linebackers.
Because of speed, okay, gotcha.
Speed and the tackling ability.
Right.
If the linebackers weren't tackling well, I think that number comes down dramatically.
Wow.
Quan Alexander only missed the 1 tackle this whole season. Everyone kept saying when he gets in here, he's in trouble, he's not a good tackler. But he's only missed 1 tackle, and I don't think Fred Warner has any missed tackles. So they're not only is the speed, which is pivotal, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to downplay that, but if they miss those tackles, it's a lot of space behind them.
They're going to go for carries for 10 to 15 yards until the safety can fill in, with whether it be Tart or whether it be, but they're going to try to take people out. Like I said, I think they're going to try to spread this defense out, whether it be Tart, linebackers, whoever it may be. I think they're going to try to spread us out. And what that also does is you spread us out and you still keep a single backfield. So you still have the run pass option. You can hand the ball off up the middle, right, which you're clearing the middle, or you can do play action and get a guy on the outside one-on-one and get rid of the football faster than the ends getting there. Yeah. So, or you do quick screens. Like, I think that's the way that they can spread us out. Do I think they'll still beat us that way? No, but do I think it benefits them to do something like that? Yeah.
I got you.
But that is where it puts it on our corners and being able to cover, and the pass rush still trying to be able to get home. Yeah. The only difference with that is you're going more one-on-one in the middle. You'll still be more one-on-ones in the middle because you're spreading guys out. So you're getting the one-on-ones on the line between the pass rush and the middle defenders. So whether it's a defensive tackle, nose tackle, whatever, 3 tech, 1 tech, whatever. So I think that's the way that I would look for the Rams to try to beat our defense, because if you line up regular, they have no chance with that offensive line. But that's where it also comes in, is how much help are they gonna give their offensive line? Because
as far as tight ends chipping and running back, yeah,
their offensive line is other than Whitworth, it's just like us right now. They're
that's the matchup of the day for me, baby.
As in tackle wise, it's kind of like starting rookies.
Bosa Whitworth.
You're talking about the depth over there.
Yeah, their depth, even their starting offensive line. What I'm saying is their offensive line is equivalent to ours with backup tackles right now.
Yeah, but our backup tackle is holding down the fort, though. So
right, no, but I'm just saying, like, if you were to say, "Oh, that's their starting offensive line," and we're playing with backup tackles, I bet our backup tackles are graded better than their starting tackles.
I would hope so. I mean, we'll see.
I would hope so too.
We have a small sample size. We haven't seen Brunskill out there yet, but let's get this question off here really quick. I do want to answer it. If our run game struggles and our receivers can't get open, will John Lynch make a trade for a target? If that happens, first of all, our wide receivers are actually getting open. They're getting separation. It's just not the play call. Kyle Shanahan sells these guys on, even if it's a run play, run your damn route. Mm-hmm. You have to make these guys bite. The reason our running backs can run for 10 yards a carry,
they biting on
7 yards a carry, is because when Deebo Samuel or Dante Pettis know it's a run play, they run their route hard and sell it, and that takes the DBs 8 yards back off the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying?
Preach, baby.
That just makes more space. And so these guys are getting open. They're running their routes, whether it's a run or whether it's a pass. They're doing what they need to do. If by chance what happens in this box here, the run game struggles and the wide receivers can't get open, check on Kyle Shanahan. That's what it comes down to. These guys get open. They're just not, the numbers aren't being called. That's all it is. Nick was saying 2 shows ago how our wide receivers have been targeted less than one wide receiver has in the entire NFL. Who was it you were talking about?
Keenan Allen has more receiving yards than our entire receiving core.
He has 2 less targets and more yards than our entire wide receiving core. And so
they missed.
And so that tells people that, the Niners wide receivers can't do it. Wrong. They're not being asked to do it. We're the second highest scoring team in the NFL, and we haven't even tapped the potential with our wide receivers yet.
Put some respect on that.
There's a difference. There's a difference between they can't do it and they're not doing. And so that's all I'm saying. These wide receivers are going to be fine. If by chance they are struggling, and if by chance the run game happens to take a big step back, what's the trade deadline? Week 7, 6, 7, 8?
7, 8, I think. 7.
You know what I'm curious, Mike? I'm curious, and I know we don't know who this user is or whatever, but to ask the user a question, like I'm curious to know, like, what receiver is he really talking about trying to trade for? Like, what receiver do you think the 49ers could grab around the trade deadline that will be feasible? Is it AJ Green? Is it Odell Beckham? Like who is it that you have in mind? Back to you, Mike.
No. I didn't even assume he meant wide receiver. He said target, so maybe you thinking target like
the trade deadline's October 29th at 4 p.m.
Right. So I'm saying, like, which receiver does he think that John Lynch will go out and target? Like, is it Beckham? Is it Green? Is it like and like, are we, you think Lynch is really willing to give up, some stuff for that? I mean, if he's all in, I don't know.
This is the thing. I've been saying this for years. We don't need that number 1 wide receiver, especially in this offense. This offense is a spread the ball type offense. There's not one particular guy that you go for other than Kittle, right? If you shut down Kittle, then you're getting 7, 8, 10, 12 targets amongst 6 guys. And even when Kittle has a big game, other guys are still catching the ball 2 or 3 times.
I agree.
Kittle just getting a lot of yards after catch. Like, there's other things that we need to sign on this team other than going out right now and getting a big name receiver.
I agree with you, Nick. I do think that, getting that big receiver name, and I'm not saying we should, but I'm saying getting that name definitely changes the game plan of a defense, right? Because you think about, which defense. All right, if our receiver, it's not that our receivers are struggling getting open. I hear say it's more about the calls, the play calling that's there, and that could be because maybe Kyle just doesn't feel like we don't have the receiving capability that he's had in the past. He's had a Josh Gordon and a Julio Jones. Those would probably be the biggest name receivers he's worked with, right? Like over his tenure in the NFL. I'm not sure if there's anybody bigger than those 2. So you figure, like, no, the 49ers don't have those guys, but they do have receivers that can do what they need to do to fit the game plan. But imagine just having a receiver at that caliber and how it would make everybody else possible to be better on the receiving core due to coverages, right? I could be wrong. I just know when you double up one guy, somebody on one-on-one, all that receiver got to do is go out and beat a one-on-one. You see what they do in the George Kittle, they're starting to double him now. That doesn't mean he's not good, but why would a quarterback throw into double coverage, Jimmy? Stop throwing in double coverage. So my point is, having that receiver at that status going forward, especially when it gets down to the trenches and Cats defenses is going to be playing different, it might help us, it might benefit us, it might enable us. But I'm at the point where let's go draft a mother sucker, yo. Hey man, I ain't trying to give up nothing right now.
But that's the thing. Like, why are we looking to draft a receiver right now? We got Deebo Samuel, we got Jalen Hurd, who hasn't even touched foot on this field yet this year. And in this system, you don't need a number one guy.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I do. But I'm just talking about for our scheme and game plan on the defensive end, how it might benefit the offense a little bit more. It may and may not.
Guy. Even though everybody doesn't want to count on it, we have that spread you out, take the top off the field in Marquise Goodwin, who Kyle Shanahan said wasn't going to be playing a ton this year. He was going to be a reserve guy, and he's still out there as a decoy trying to stretch the field open so we can get our run game going and the underneath game. So for people like, and I'm not saying you, Wayne, I'm just saying people in general, we don't need that big name, because even if that big name comes here, he's still going to be a part of the product. It's not going to be, we're going to force feed.
That's what I've been waiting to say. Perfect, Nick. Big names want targets. Big names have their contracts written based off of their performance, which means they're going to be harping the quarterback's ear and the coach's ear. Hey, I need 8 targets a game. Because we don't have that here. We don't have anybody, not even George Kittle, getting 8 targets a game. Shanahan doesn't play like that. The Patriots don't play like that. There's a reason why those teams do what they do. Who's the Patriots' number 1 wide receiver?
Edelman, probably.
And he's not even a downfield threat. He's a chain mover. He's a chain mover. That's what he does.
He's a product of the system.
He is a part of the system. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking anything away from where if he goes somewhere else he won't produce.
Oh no, that's not what I mean. I get what you're saying. Yeah, no.
But the system is we're going to hit you here, we're going to hit you there, we're going to hit you in the middle, we're going to hit you underneath and take. That's the system. That's what it's all about. The motions. It's about the mismatches. It's about the misconceptions and not trick plays, but making you think we're running something when we're doing something completely different. That's what we run here. And so having that guy, you bring an OBJ in here, you bring a Mike Evans in here. These guys, Mike Evans seems pretty humble on screen, but these guys are going to want their targets, and that ruins the dynamic of, oh my God, another interception.
Yeah, that's tough.
That ruins the dynamic of what we're doing here.
I don't think all the receivers are like that though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought if you bring in a Julio Jones, I believe he could be a part of that system. He's been in the system before. I believe he is.
But are you really going to be able to afford a Julio Jones?
No, we can't.
Right. So that's what it boils down to.
But nobody's thinking like that, Nick. I mean, come on.
But people should think like that. We don't have all the money in the world. They want Julio Jones. They want DeForest Buckners. They want Nick Bosa's after his contracts. They want Jimmy Garoppolo paid. They want a number 1 running back. They want. They want the name.
They need to take nothing but Niners salary cap 101 class so they can understand how this joint works.
Yeah, they want the name, but they don't want to face the benefits of what you're going to lose to bring in that name.
Right.
Here's the bottom line. In the last 3 years, the 49ers have drafted 5 receivers? Mm-hmm. We're not trading for anybody, fellas. We're not trading for a wide receiver.
I'm cool with that. And I'm cool with that.
And I'm the guy at the start of the season who said we should trade a 3rd or 4th round pick for AJ Green because I wanted that red zone target. But then we drafted Jalen Hurd, baby. And I haven't said it since. I'm just waiting my time now. You know what I'm saying? So
just patience, guys. Patience.
The pieces are here for success. You need a red zone threat. We got it. You need a physical possession guy. Got it. You want to thump the ball up the middle. Jeff Wilson, but he's down on the, you know what I'm saying? You want to get inside zone, outside. Like, we got everything we need here. The physical offensive lineman to run the plays that we need on offense. The blocking fullback. We have all the pieces here to be a successful football team. It's not about names here. This is a selfless
4-0.
Yes,
without
exactly.
a number 1 big name receiver. And the points, we're putting up 31.8 points a game.
Mm-hmm. I said
how much more do you want?
Exactly.
You know what I want? I want to be 5-0. And then I want to be 6-0.
Exactly. People don't understand. We have like $21 million in cap space. That's also not counting. Matt Breida's contract's up. DeForest Buckner's not going to need to get paid. Eric Armstead is legitimately making a case to stay here because he's been balling out this year.
And so is Blair.
And Blair.
The Browns just scored a touchdown on the Seahawks, dog.
Oh, the games are on
No, they
already?
didn't get in. They didn't get in, but it's a good return. Good return. Good
The
return.
games are on already, huh? We need to wrap this up then.
Yeah. All right, we need
But no,
to
Nick, go ahead. No, I want you to continue your rant, bro. Like, keep talking your shit, bro. I see you. And then I want to answer Evan's question that's on the screen too.
like like I said, you got Breida, Armstead, Buckner needs to be paid. Blair, you're gonna have who else is in contract year this year? I believe DJ Jones is in a contract year this year.
I think this is his second
It's
year.
either Jones or Sheldon Day, one of them.
I think it might be Day, but I think Jones is in his second year. He's got one more year, I think.
All right, but either way, you got guys that are balling and part like essential to this defense, and you guys all want to cut Jerick McKinnon, right? So that's going to save $6 million in cap space next year. Okay, $6 million.
I don't think they even cut him, bro.
But I'm
No,
saying,
he's guaranteed a roster spot next year.
I'm saying fans want to cut him. So
Nah, I hear you.
then we're going with a guy who's injury prone for 2 years now, hasn't taken a snap, and getting rid of a Matt Breida, who's going to get paid somewhere. It may not be.
That's the other guy on the contract.
Yeah,
This is Matt Breida last year.
he said
I
Breida.
said Breida before.
Oh, Breida, CJ Beathard.
Yeah, Breida, CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins. Your backup
I
quarterback.
meant to say Nick Mullins, not Beathard.
Beathard's going in his third year.
Yeah. But this is Nick Mullins last year also. And we got to talk about that at some point. You got to give Nick Mullins $4 million to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
You got to give him that money. You have to give him that money. So somebody might want to make him a starter, bro.
Yeah, you got to, Kim. I mean, unless you're all in on Beathard.
Yo, Nick Mullins might work better than Jameis Winston in that Tampa system.
But that's they're gonna throw Nick the money. They're gonna throw him some money. He a free agent.
Keep him around here.
Not if they can't afford him.
Yeah, if I'm him, I'm not even sure I try to entertain the Niners.
But I mean, it just goes back to just
Touchdown
think about
Browns. Nick Chubb.
Just think about the money that we have, and think about the money that we have and what we need to keep this team moving forward. Instead of spending it all in one place, keeping pieces that we have going forward to continue to make this team better.
You know what I'm happy about, guys? I'm happy that I finally can say that I feel like that our defensive line is solidified and we don't have to worry about it for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like with the starters and the pieces, and they're all young, right? We just got to make sure we take care of our Buckner. I would love to bring Armstead back, but hey, somebody might offer him money and we just can't afford it. I think what we really need to do, focus on now, and I know a lot of fans not going to be feeling that junk, but now we need to focus on building the offensive line and making that stout for the next 5 to 10 years. You saying no?
I'm not with you on that, man. We've allowed 4 sacks all year. I think
we do need to get a guard though. We desperately need.
I'm just saying if we want to keep consistently
why do we need a guard? Person's been balling, man.
You know how old Persons is? Trust me, we need a guard, bro.
I think if we want to consistently keep competing, I think the offensive line is where you restock, bro. I'm not saying you got to go spend money on free agency. I'm just saying you continue to build that just like you did your defensive line. Those are the 2 things that win games in the trenches, right? Your O-line and your D-line, right? And I think we just continue to build, man. And like you said, the way the offensive line's been playing, but then injuries pop up, and then you got to put in guys, and we don't know how they're going to work out. So, right, I think that's how we continue to keep building the success and add in whatever key component that Kyle feels he needs. You just let him do it, and we don't question it. If he want to draft the punter in the first round, you let him draft the punter in the first round. At this point, Kyle has the keys to the range, bro. And look, we're 4-0.
We got, I mean, and Person's what, 31?
Yeah, he's 31. He's born in 88. And you got to remember that the Niners let him test free agency. They weren't interested in bringing him back. Things didn't work out, so they brought him back. They
brought him back because Joshua Garnett wasn't playing well.
They were planning on moving on, is my point. And it didn't work out for them. They're looking to move on from him. And he's been serviceable. I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm saying that the Niners want something different there. That's all.
Right, but I'm saying that's one pick out of out of the entire draft. Is
Well,
bringing
when you're picking 32, you're gonna get your guard.
This is true.
You're gonna get your guard at 32. So I'm with it, man. Listen, man. Hey, this has been a lot of fun, fellas. Evan, I believe it's Evan, EVIN, asked this question about do Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw get busy today? He wanted to know about the linebackers getting some love, right? And I'm gonna read number 5 of my bold predictions here from the article I posted. If you guys haven't checked it out, go to nothingbutniners.com and look at the articles. We got a Keys to Victory by Kev. You guys see him usually at the evening shows. And then I did also my 5 bold predictions. I said the linebackers get in on the love. This season has been good for both sides of the ball, but the defense has been the shining point. The defense has gotten about 75% of the love. I'm sorry, the defensive line has gotten about 75% of the love, while the secondary is getting 20. This week shifts. All right, that means the linebackers only getting 5%. This week, the tide will shift. And the linebackers get some love. Fred Warner records his first pick of the season, and Alexander gets the second sack. Gets the sack the second time in as many weeks. So I do think that the linebackers show up this week. So that was my answer to it. It's in there. The bold predictions, you guys can check that out. What do you guys think? You expecting anything from our linebackers? I mean, he specifically said Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, but you know.
I think Fred Warner has been playing the most consistent in our linebacking core. He's on every tackle, and he's out there balling out. I think you're going to see a lot of more. I think you're going to see Fred Warner in a lot more coverage this week. So we're going to have to stand the test to see how it works out. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what the Rams come out there in their sets, I think that's how we know. We determine what our linebackers are going to do. I would like to see Greenlaw in there flying around to the ball. He's a short tackler for sure. So when he gets in the game, he just has to do his job. On those passing sets, I'm a little worried about them. We watched some struggling coverage in the preseason. But I think, like you said, guys, you guys called it. I think today is the game of the linebackers phase. I don't think we've had a linebacker game yet. We've had a secondary, we've had a line, and I think today might be the game for the linebackers, bro.
Yes, sir. It depends on if they spread us out like Nick was talking about. Look, it's all coming together, man. It's one big conversation we having right here. You guys been paying attention. We breaking it down for y'all, man. We're breaking it all down. But listen, fellas, man, I think we should let everybody get going to the games. I see the numbers dropping. People are checking out. Red zone is probably popping right now. Chiefs going to lose today.
We need to give our predictions here, man.
Oh, okay. What are we doing? What do you mean? Bold predictions?
Score predictions.
Score predictions and player of the game. We didn't do last night.
That's right. That's right. All right. So you guys want me to go first or what?
Go ahead. Set it off.
All right. So I'm going to give a final score prediction. The 49ers get 38. The Rams only 17. All right. I've been on it. I've been saying that we got the best offense in the league. I really, truly believe that. We took our foot off the gas in a couple of games that we could have kept going. That game we put up 41. We ran the ball 20 times in the second half just because that's how big of a lead we had against them. Like they let the foot off the gas. This team can score at will. Even the game with the 5 turnovers against the Steelers, we were driving up and down the field at will. And the Steelers have a good defense. Guys, this offense is for real. It's legit. And this Rams defense don't stand a chance. All right. And I'm not going to disrespect individual players, but the Niners offense is coming. And as far as the defense, I also believe our defense is real. They're playing sound defense. You stop the run, you force teams to pass, and you get after the quarterback when they do. Those are the basic fundamentals for the defense. And the Niners do all of that very well. 38-17.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Hey, man, I got the Niners winning 35-13. This is that one game where and my player of the game is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo, because my man Kyle Shanahan is going to dial the freak up on these Rams. I'm telling you, he's been wanting to beat Sean McVay for the past 3 seasons. I know we got swept last season. This is going to be one of those games that should be on national television because it's going to be up, and then the NFL going to be mad they didn't flex the 49ers into this game. 35-13 49ers.
All right. I'm going. The Niners are going to win, and it's not even going to be close. 42-17.
A 40 burger? Woo!
40 burger. Listen, the reason I'm saying this is Kyle Shanahan goes up against a zone defense all week long, and the Rams are running a zone defense now. And I think that's going to help us with Aqib Talib out, Marcus Peters not balling really well, and them playing zone, look for Deebo Samuel and Marquise Goodwin to eat today.
Oh, yeah.
You said Marquise Goodwin or Debo?
Marquise Goodwin and Deebo to ball out
And
today.
Debo. Yeah, my player of the game is going to be a wide receiver, and I asked this in the bold predictions also. I couldn't determine if it was going to be Pettis or Samuel. I've been picking Samuel to blow out, come out and blow up finally, but I've been picking him for too long. So since you said Samuel, I'm going to say Pettis has a game. I'm going to say Pettis has a couple of touchdowns. My prediction was one of these two. I was talking about Samuel and Pettis. So one of these two will haul in 7 catches for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's going to be my player of the game right there. I'm going to say Dante Pettis. All right.
Here we
Wayne,
go.
who's your player of the game?
My player of the game is Jimmy G, baby. I told you he gonna throw out. He gonna be shooting out. It won't be a shootout, but he'll be shooting out.
Oh yeah. All right, we good?
Great.
All right, guys. Y'all know the deal already. Give us all follows on Twitter. We are 49er Faithful. 49er Faithful 365 is Nick. My man 49er Breezy over there. That's Wayne, and I am 49ers Mike _NFL. The main page has a Twitter and Snapchat. That is nothing but 9ERS. So you guys make sure you follow us up over there. Also hit us up on Instagram as well as Facebook. That is Nothing But Niners. Check out the website. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. And if you've never been here on the YouTube page or the Facebook, make sure you guys give us a thumbs up, like the page, join the page, subscribe, turn on your notifications. We'll be back. We'll see you guys soon. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out of here.
Peace.